With the new expansion on the horizon, we're counting down the top 10 meta-defining arena cards of the set. For a card to be meta-defining, it has to appear often enough in draft. This means legendary cards will not be mentioned. We also avoided premium epic cards for the same reason, but there are 2 insanely strong epics that made the list. Other than popularity, we also base this list on the power level of each card and how it affects their own classes. For example, Penance is a strong card, but priests already have Shadow Word Pain that does something very similar and is better in most scenarios. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel in order to keep up with Tempo Storm's Hearthstone content. The first card on our list is Subdue. Large removals are hard to come by in Arena, and Subdue gives Paladin access to another one. Due to the card being common, you're gonna see it a lot. Now, Paladin will also have Keeper of Uldum, Aldor Peacekeeper, and Humility in the same rotation. They do fill similar purposes, but Paladin is going to need a bunch of these stat manipulation effects to answer the big taunts coming into the meta. Coming up on our list is another Paladin spell, Pharaohs Blessing. This Paladin spell is very similar to Spike Ridge Steed and Blessing of Kings, but can be more powerful in certain scenarios. What sets this apart from Steed is the Divine Shield. On average, you would be killing something around 5 health minimum and gaining a much more threatening minion than Steed. This card cements Paladin as the beatdown class and can be very difficult for certain classes to deal with. With all these reborn minions coming in, it's very likely Paladin will have a minion on board to target with Pharaoh's Blessing. The next card we have on our list is Evil Totem. 2-mana snowball cards are generally busted in Arena. Last year we had an Arena exclusive card called Cavern Dreamer and it dominated the format. Like Cavern Dreamer, Evil Totem can use lackeys to perpetually protect itself. Now, Evil Totem has 1 less health, which is quite significant in the early game. So the good news is it's not as crazy as Cavern Dreamer. However, we have a bunch of common 2 damage removals leaving Arena. If Evil Totem can generate 2 lackeys more than 50% of the time it's played, the card is premium. If it gets to the point of 3 lackeys, you probably lost the game. Now, Shaman will likely not be as good in the next rotation, but you can totally draft around Evil Totem by having strong early game tools to defend it. Up next, we have a premium epic card in a class that struggles in Arena. It's unlikely Bloodsworn Mercenary will change the meta in any way, but the sheer power level of it requires a special mention. By losing 1 health, the battle cry can straight up win games in the mid to late game. It's very easy in Arena to have a damaged minion on board. Copying a 2/3 will already make this card premium. Copying anything bigger and you cheated out tempo that's otherwise impossible. As we've seen in past expansions, cheating out tempo will typically win the game. Like Conjurer's Calling, this card is fairly easy to activate, which means it has to be a top bucket card. At number 6, we have epic Warlock minion Rift Cleaver. It's likely the strongest card released in this set when it comes to Arena. The only reason it isn't number 1 on our list is because it's an epic card. We won't see it that often, but man, is it ridiculously powerful. Players might avoid the card simply because they don't want to lose health. In a few cases, the card is unplayable because you can't take any more damage. In the vast majority of cases, you played a large minion while simultaneously destroying another minion for only 6 mana. The only comparison to old cards we have is Vilespine Slayer and the Lich King card Obliterate. Imagine playing a 4-mana 7/5 that obliterates a minion. Rift Cleaver can easily cost 8 mana and we would still be happy to play it. Here's another comparison. At 6 mana, there's a card in the top bucket called Fire Elemental. Rift Cleaver not only has 1 more attack than Fire Elemental, but it can also kill a bigger minion. Once again, cheating out tempo will typically win you the game. Coming in at number 5 is the new priest spell, Holy Ripple. On its own, Holy Ripple is clearly not as strong as Rift Cleaver. However, we're entering a meta where there are reborn minions, violet worms, and a bunch of snowball cards that require cleaning the board. What makes this card meta-defining is how much it fills a hole in the priest control toolkit. Dealing with small boards usually requires a Holy Nova, which often comes up too late. This not only costs 3 mana cheaper, but healing 1 health is usually the difference between saving a minion from a hero power and dying. All in all, this is basically a stronger Holy Nova due to how cheap and efficient it is. With the upcoming meta, we will likely see less Holy Novas due to multiple AoEs coming in on turn 5, and Holy Ripple is an excellent substitute. At number 4, we have the best meta-defining class card of the set, Hunter's Pack. Like Holy Ripple, this fills an important hole in the Hunter's arsenal. Moreover, this card is common, which means it's going to be drafted all the time. In aggro hunters, this gives the final gas they need to kill the opponent. In mid-range builds, this card gives excellent value for its sheer efficiency. The top 3 spots are reserved for the best neutrals of the set. In every expansion, we had minions that defined the meta. In Rise of Shadows, it was Eccentric Scribe, Burly Shovelfist, and Henchclan Hogsteed. In Rostakon's Rumble, it was Dragonmaw Scorcher and Amani Warbear. At number 3, we have Neferset Ritualist and an honorable mention to Quicksand Elemental. First, both cards are rare, so it won't be seen as often. However, both rare cards are high quality, and you tend to play around them the same way by controlling the board. This will no longer be a meta where you can commonly leave minions alive. Both cards are obviously the result of power creep. Minions that heal have always been understated, and no card has been able to heal 2 minions to full health. In Arena, injured minions are very common due to the nature of board-centric plays. Ritualist has many premium scenarios where it would just win the game by healing mid-sized minions. The card is arguably better than Fungalmancer since it can come down so much sooner. At number 2, we have the best non-legendary neutral minion of the set, Wrapped Golem. Unlike Eccentric Scribe and Violet Worm, it is a must-kill minion due to its ongoing effect. However, it is super difficult to deal with efficiently. Certain classes like Druid and Warlock have no clean way to remove it. Mage, Priest, and Shaman have options, but many of these cards are in the top buckets. You'll encounter many scenarios where you just cannot remove the Wrapped Golem immediately, and it'll just win the game when a Fungalmancer or Ritualist buffs it back up. Before we wrap up our list, here are a few honorable mentions. Plague of Flames is a ridiculous Warlock board clear for 1 mana. History Buff is one of the strongest 3-drops in the game. Temple Berserker is a poor man's Haunted Creeper, while Bug Collector is Hogsteed's lesser companion. Druid also received Oasis Surger, which is solid, but it's hard to see Druid doing well in the new expansion. Likewise, Shaman received Earthquake and Sandstorm Elemental, but it'll be difficult for them to excel as well. And so, our number 1 meta-defining card in Saviors of Uldum is Pit Crocolisk. The large beast reminds us of premium cards in the past. It's the neutral Firelands portal for 1 mana extra, and it guarantees premium stats. It's a North Sea Kraken that comes down a turn earlier, and you're able to use your hero power on turn 10 with it. It's a healthier Amani Warbear that can bypass Taunt for a mana more. The card belongs in just about every archetype. Aggro classes can close the game with it, and control classes can eat a mid-sized minion. When turn 8 comes around, you'll probably have to play around this card. Obviously, like everything else in Arena, it'll depend on where Blizzard buckets these cards. From past metas, we know a card like Neferset Ritualist and Wrapped Golem will be under-bucketed. Will Warriors see any play for Bloodsworn Mercenary to be relevant? Are we completely wrong about the power level of Druid in Uldum? We'll have to find out in the next expansion. This wraps our 10 cards we'll see in Arena. What cards are you most excited to play? What kind of combos will you pull off? Comment below. And as always, smash that like and subscribe for more quality Hearthstone content. See you next time.